Alright everybody, hello and welcome back to the stream. I am Jason, bringing you yet another one of these classic chair matches. This time it's going to be a Division 1 match here between Enterprise and the Illidank squad. Joined again by Rabid Penguin. Thank you very much for joining me.
Yeah, no problem. Happy to be here.
For anybody that's worried about Plague, he's fine. He just had to go to bed, the wimp. Not willing to stay in here for the nightcap. I'm not going to call him a filthy casual, but he's kind of a filthy casual right now. I'm not going to lie. Alright, so we do have both teams in the lobby, and we are going to go ahead and get this draft started here on Black Hearts Bay. Very fun map, yet another one that I don't think we've gotten a chance to really cast a whole lot. And a map that's mainly centered around grabbing the camps to be able to get the map objective, get those coins, get them turned into Black Heart, get those cannonballs raining down on your opponent's structures. Right off the bat, we're going to see an Illidan ban here for Rabid.
Wonder if that's a target ban against the Illidank squad.
Well, you know, that makes a lot of sense.
Something tells me.
Just a hunch. So Illidan also very, very good on Black Hearts Bay. He is the ultimate camp taker, able to really be able to solo pretty much any one of those camps from a very low level. We're going to see the classic Kalthos ban coming out from the Illidank squad, and a Zol pickup here by Enterprise. So
Sony is a pretty good replacement for Illidan for taking those camps and collecting the coins as well, so I would be surprised if one of the two teams don't pick her up instead.
Yeah, for sure. Any good camp taker is pretty classic here. Since Li Ming hasn't been banned, we're going to see a pretty early pickup from her, from the Illidank squad. Enterprise prioritizing Zol here, who can be very good in that early four-man rotation up on top, or can be a good solo laner. So not showing a whole lot, not committing to a whole lot on that first pick, which is really good. And the same thing with Li Ming. She can fit in pretty much any comp. I love it when these teams in these early picks, particularly the picks that fall before the first ban phase, don't show a whole lot in their team comps early.
Yeah, it definitely gives you a lot to be more flexible down the road too, as you see more of your opponent's picks and kind of what they're building into. You can try to save your other picks for more of a counter and not pigeonhole yourself right away.
So we are going to see the Illidank squad spending a lot of time going deep into their time pool here to figure out what they want for that second pick. And we are going to see Thrall, a classic early pick, one of the big high-tier heroes in the game. And Rhaegar and Greymane coming out from Enterprise. Very quick picks. They know exactly what they wanted.
Yeah, that's starting to look pretty dangerous over on that side.
Yeah, the roots, and the heroes to be able to follow it up. Rhaegar always a classic dive combo kind of support where he can be able to really help Greymane by giving him decent heals, giving him the extra lightning shield for when he dives in to get extra damage out, and of course Ancestral to be able to bring him up if he gets pressured when he goes in on those dive plays. So what would you like to see out of the Illidank squad for a ban here, Rabid?
Well, Enterprise still needs to pick up their tank, so presumably somebody who combos well with the rest of their team. Falstad, though, somebody who can reset just about any fight. He controls engagements really well, and he's pretty good on this map too, just because of his global presence, so not surprised there.
We are going to see the healer chokehold applied by Enterprise here. They're going to ban out Uther, who combos pretty well with any divey hero like Thrall. Also, just in general, a pretty good all-around healer in the game right now. And since they've already got Rhaegar, a good call there to be able to limit the heroes, because Enterprise may or may not decide to go with a dual support combo, but they certainly weren't going to go after Uther. We are going to see the Tassadar picked up here by the Illidank squad, however. So being able to get those constant shields out and really not your best solo support. We'll have to see if Illidank squad wants to pick up yet another healer, and they will with Tyrande.
That's a nice follow-up for Thrall and his root, or vice versa.
Yeah,
but depending on what tank they pick up, they could definitely work their way into some nice picks, which are important on this map as well.
Rexar and Chen, two very niche heroes here being picked up by Enterprise. they were gonna need some kind of front line, and some kind of front line is certainly what they got here from Rexar and
Yeah, I think it's all front line. That's 100% ham right there.
Not cutting down on the ham is Enterprise here. So we'll have to see what the response is from Enterprise. A very interesting direction that this draft has suddenly turned. And we are going to see ETC. We knew they were going to need a tank. Kind of your quintessential CC tank in ETC. And they're going to try and pull off some big... They're either going to try and pull off some big mosh pits, or we're going to see some big global presence coming out from ETC here. I imagine it's probably the former, but we'll have to see.
Well, there isn't much to interrupt mosh pit on the side of Enterprise. I would say that's probably one of the weak points of that comp, is they don't really have any hard CC. They do have the root from Zool, but that's, and of course the stun from Misha, but beyond that there isn't a whole lot that they have to work with or interrupt, which is another reason we probably saw the Falstad ban.
And let's be honest here, are we ever really going to see Misha not get caught in mosh pit? I mean, come on.
It's unlikely, but it could happen.
Yeah. Then we're also, the only big one I see is Chen with Wandering Keg. He does become unstoppable when he goes into that Wandering Keg, so he is able to knock ETC out of mosh pit. We'll have to see where that goes. Meanwhile, you know, I really like the draft coming out from Enterprise. Very innovative. You don't see a whole lot of Rexar Chen combos, but Chen, a very good diving buddy to be able to go with Greymane. A lot of CC coming out from Misha. Not so much Rexar, but certainly Misha for Greymane and Zoll to be able to follow up on with those roots, and just in general the dive, the go for the throat resets. But on the side of Illidank squad, they also have a lot of good CC. Thrall roots, Tyrande stuns, ETC stuns, obviously. And they've got the damage to follow it up. The Hunter's Mark coming out from Tyrande can really help melt one target down, which sets up the resets for Li Ming.
Yep. They do have a lot of different tools to work with there, I think. So it should be interesting to see kind of which balances out or which wins over the hard aggression or the CC.
Yeah, we'll also have to see which team is able to dive after the backline better. Thrall and ETC, really good dive buddies, but also we see Greymane, Zoll's able to get in there. Chen is kind of the ultimate diver. And, of course, Misha always able to dive in there and get her hands dirty, getting in on these team fights. So backlines beware. Should be a very interesting fight. We'll have to see which team is able to rotate around and get the picks more easily. We are going to see Enterprise is going to be our blue team on the left, and we will see Illidank squad is going to be our red team on the right for this match here on Blackheart's Bay, a Division 1 match here for Chair League. And these teams are actually fairly high ranked here in Chair League. They are the 12th and 16th seeds as we try and get in towards the end of the season. Both of these teams still will end up being should still end up being in contention from here to be able to maybe get up into the tournament and try to go for that Pro League spot at the end of Season 2 here. So we'll have to see which one could come out on top here on Blackheart's Bay.
Nice. Should be a good game then.
All right, so introducing the teams as we load in here. On the blue side, we are going to see Enterprise. Vader is going to be playing Greymane. Captain Bacardi is going to be playing Rhaegar. Durpa Biscuit is going to be playing Chen. Beastmaster, makes a lot of sense, on Rexar. And Steph Withanf is going to be playing Zoll.
And on the right side here in the red, we have Shiraloon on ETC, Captain Star on Tyrande, the Dickens on Tassadar, Chess Looter on Li Ming, and Thanatos on Thrall.
Well, that makes sense. You know, Li Ming is going to be going after these chests, going to be looking to loot some, and we're going to see all 5 members of Enterprise are going to be coming up to try and capture this. A very aggressive slide in here by ETC is only going to catch Misha out, and ETC is going to end up being caught way out of here. Chen's going to dive in, and they're going to end up getting ETC right off the bat.
Yeah, even with 2 supports, the Tyrande Tassadar does not give you that much sustain to be able to take all that damage from Enterprise there.
Yeah, let alone the fact that the Dickens here in the bottom on Tassadar is actually went to the bottom, so they did not have all 5 members, did Illidank's squad there up in that top to try and capture the vision. And so they end up paying with just Tyrande as the solo healer. All that CC came out from Enterprise as they dived in on that and were able to take out ECC quickly. That's going to give them the advantage as they capture all 5 here on top. Chen actually being dealt a lot of damage there on bottom. I'm not sure how much damage he had going in there, but that's going to give Tassadar the definite advantage here as they go into these top ones. But Chen, very annoying, able to get in there and at least steal one of those with little to no repercussions. Thrall getting very, very low here in the mid. Vader's going to go hard in after him on Greymane and is going to get out with just a little bit of health. Even maybe, no, that wasn't B-walking. He was just thinking about being right there.
Just a lazy hearth.
Just a lazy hearth.
No big deal. Nothing to see here. Move along.
Yeah. We are going to see some good, solid rotations here as both of these teams try and. You'll notice a lot of times the more coordinated teams here on Blackheart's Bay don't go directly after trying to get that first turn in. They'll prioritize trying to get to level 4, win the race to that first talent tier by going back and forth in these top and mid lanes, making these rotations. We are going to see Tassadar going down in the bottom, though. Chen with an extremely aggressive dive in. He's going to actually end up paying for that with his life, diving in past the wall there.
All kinds of loot laying there on the dock now, too.
Oh, my. Somebody's got to get down there and get those coins. That was a full 5 coins on the side of Enterprise that could have actually secured them a turn in, but Tyrande is going to be the lucky one to get down here and capitalize on that.
Well, 4 of them came from Tassadar. He was B-stepping and got picked by Rexar and Chen. So now they've retrieved them back, though.
Well, see, I'm missing all the action. I gotta keep eyes on this bottom lane.
That's where it's at for now. Top has been pretty calm.
We are going to see teams jostling for position over this this top division. A nice slide, a nice follow-up there by Tyrande to get a lot of harass out. Even the root from Thrall there, the Wolves, Rhaegar just barely able to escape with his life there.
Yeah, he's tough to track down with that increased move speed in wolf form, and you can't knock him out of it. So as long as he keeps running, he usually gets away.
We are going to see the root coming out onto Thrall from Zol here, but Zol's going to end up being collapsed on. The Lunar Flare misses, and that alone is going to be enough to get Zol out of there. Greymane diving very deep to try and get after Thrall, but he will disengage, and that stealth is going to get him out safely.
Bit of a push down on the bottom by Chen with some Siege Giants, but nothing that Tassadar can't clean up.
Yeah, still a little bit of damage on that front wall. A lot of the ammo's gone. And
there's the Rhaegar pick.
Oh, and in the top lane. Yep, Rhaegar. Again, that follow-up, that Thrall and ETC combo. They got a lot of CC just in those 3 heroes up in the top lane.
What good's a pirate?
Meanwhile, we are going to see the chest spawn here, the second chest spawn. Yet thus far, neither team has gone for a turn-in of any kind here. 0 coins turned in, but we are going to see these teams start to develop a pretty high bank of coins. 10 on the side of Illidank squad. Enterprise holding on to 15 right now. As Chen, it looks like he may be able to pick up yet another free 5. And we are going to finally see a turn-in rotation from Illidank squad, which is going to go uncontested from Enterprise here.
Enterprise, it looks like, is just more prioritizing the push here in the mid, trying to get some XP out of those buildings.
Yeah, Greymane actually jumping in beyond the wall there, taking a little bit of free poke from the fort. But we will see the inevitable turn-in here as Illidank squad goes ahead and rotates up Tyrande for those last 5. But you're right, they're getting a lot of siege damage out. You get a nice XP lead from being able to soak these lanes as well as take out some of the structures early. We're even seeing Rexar try and get a little bit of a sneaky boss attempt here.
Yeah, and those 2 towers will actually make sure that the first turn-in for Enterprise will get that fort. So in the long run, they'll actually end up with more XP than had they just turned in.
Very nice, playing to the map strengths here. And again, you know, Rexar has been missing for quite a while. No one's suspecting that Beastmaster might be up here getting this early boss, and no vision on it, so he is going to end up capturing this boss only less than 6 minutes into the match. Level 9 Rexar taking down that boss by himself.
It's definitely something you have to watch for on any map with a boss when you're playing against Rexar, but especially on this one since it's kind of more isolated, out of the way, and you usually don't think to check it until more like, you know, level 10, 13, or when you have a couple team members down, something like that.
And this turn-in is going to be scouted out by Tyrande, but enough members of Illidank squad had to rotate up to take care of that boss that they are just not going to have the resources to contest this at all. And it's like you said, that first turn-in may actually get down one or maybe even two of these keeps here, as the top keep has taken a lot of damage from that first boss. Meanwhile, we're going to see the ever-jungling Rexar make his way all the way to the bottom now, capturing these bruisers for free. Yet again, not really being scouted out or responded to by anyone. Just gathering those coins up, and the First National Bank of Rexar is in business.
Yeah, he's definitely a good one to hold it. He can pretty much take any camp on the map that he wants, as we just saw there with the boss.
Yeah, if the boss isn't a problem for him, you know, these bruisers, give me a break. Li Ming is going to scout this one out, though, but she's going to get in a little deep. All 5 members of Enterprise are here looking to defend this turn-in. We are going to even see Wandering Cake come out to try and stall and zone back in Li Ming. Ultimately, they are going to go in on this. The slide comes in. We're going to see Starfall come out, but we're going to actually see Enterprise start to back out of this. They got the turn-in, so nothing to fight over. They hold a lot of coins here, so a lot more at risk than does Illidank squad. So a very smart retreat there to disengage and live to fight another day.
Yep, this is one of the maps that you can win by not even fighting the entire game. You just get coins, turn them in, and you're good to go.
And they've got the perfect comp for that too, you know, being able to pretty much engage or disengage whenever they want, barring the CC potential, of course, of Illidank squad. But let's go ahead and talk a little bit about the ults while we're in a little bit of a passive mode here. Let's see if I can remember the buttons. There we are. All right, so we are going to see Go for the Throat, Ancestral Healing, Wandering Keg, Bestial Wrath, and Poison Nova coming out for the side of Enterprise. No big surprises there. A little bit of a, Mosh Pit coming in. It's going to actually, I believe it might have hit Zol there, but I think the Cleanse came out from Rhaegar to be able to get him out of that. That's going to end up missing. But
I believe that's correct.
The slide back in, they are going to re-engage this. The Sunder's going to come out. A nice follow-up there on Vader from Tyrande. Li Ming is going to pull out all the stops to get all the abilities out there. Starfall is also going to come down. The resets are coming out, and yet another stun combo is going to fall down on Rhaegar. That's a 2 for nothing, as they're able to also get the fort out of that. Very nice play coming out from the Illidank squad.
Yeah, they knew they had the numbers there. This was a 3v4 to begin with, and once one of them goes down, they want to stay in and fight. They'll take it.
Another engagement here in the mid as both Thrall and ETC kind of going for the turn-in there, but it is sniffed out by Enterprise. Chen and Rhaegar are going to get in there and interrupt that. We will see a brilliant little stall out there by Thrall, able to throw that lightning right through Enterprise to stall the turn-in, but ultimately that's all he's going to be able to do as his team is not here with him. Going back to the ults real quick, we're going to see Mosh Pit, Starfall coming out from Tyrande, Force Wall, Disintegrate, and Sunder. Again, no real big surprises there.
We do have a mule picked up by Tyrande a little earlier on 7. That's kind of an unusual pickup for her, but it does make sense on this map. If you can't completely kill a fort with your cannonballs, then you get a lot of value out of those mules.
Yeah, I really like to see it on Sky Temple, so it makes a lot of sense to also use it here. We are going to see Wandering Keg come out from Chen, get him out of trouble there, as Illidank squad had a nice collapse there. But ultimately, we are going to see Rexar sneak that turn in. A very, very heads-up move there as they were chasing after Chen, for him to be able to sneak up there, get that turn in, and secure it, which will also, at the same time, deny Illidank's squad the ability to get a turn in.
Yeah, even with Tassadar and Tyrande, it seems like they're having a hard time of watching that effectively without some sort of more permanent vision like the creep that Sagara provides.
So we are going to see a little bit of jostling position yet again over this vision. They are going to get in the slide, the Sunder, and the Lunar Flare coming out. Mosh Pit's going to come out as well. They are going to end up getting Misha down. That is going to proc the resets as they are on the chase here after Chen as well as Greymane. Greymane is going to slide out and just barely get away, but they are going to catch Chen. And now they're going to rotate up to go after Zol as well as Rexar, but the fort is here. So it's a little bit dangerous for them to go in on this, but they're going to choose to do it anyway. They're going to take this fight under the turret, but they are going to end up backing out here, realizing that there is really no escape here if they do end up getting caught. And at this point in the game, the death timers are low enough. I'm not really sure it's worth the risk, especially on this very PvE heavy map.
Yeah, ETC isn't the tankiest tank either. It's hard for him to take those fort shots, unlike maybe a Johanna or a Muradin might. So.
And we do see the Owl going up to the top to make sure to scout out that boss, making sure that Rexar is not up there. We are going to see a pretty heavy invade here as they tried to get in here early enough to get this siege camp, but ultimately they will cap that just in time. Chen is going to end up getting in trouble again. He's going to walk right in the middle of Illidank's squad, but yet again, that Wandering Keg. Not a very high cooldown, not too much of a waste to just use it to get out of trouble, especially with the ridiculous amount of CC for Illidank's squad. If there is any weakness that Chen has in his kit, it's that when he can't shield due to CC, he ends up actually melting pretty quickly.
Yeah, and that's, I think, the second time we've seen him use that Wandering Keg defensively, so they're definitely putting some pressure on him, it looks like.
Yeah, both teams pretty even here. Just a slight XP lead here for Illidank's squad. They got to be a little bit careful of engages for this next little sliver of a level here. But ultimately, they will end up, it looks like, getting those 16 talents before we do see any, that coming out. A nice juke there as we saw the Owl go up for Rexar as they were checking that boss. But he does end up dodging the Owl, and he's going to go back in, and he's going to go after this boss yet again. We are going to see the rotation, though. We'll have to see if they actually sniff this out. Yep, the Owl's going to come up, and Rexar is going to end up having to walk away from that boss. That's not going to happen twice, looks like.
Not this time, anyway.
Maybe next time, Rexar. Very sneaky.
They are after Rexar there in the mid, it looks like.
Yeah, nice collapse going on here. A couple jukes by Rexar, but ultimately the Sunder is going to end up taking him out. As we do see on Enterprise are going to be going after this bottom siege, the bottom siege camp here. Chen and Zol able to take that pretty quickly, and then they're going to go clear the bottom lane. We are going to see a turn in, at least a start to a turn in there, but ultimately they're going to disengage from that turn in, decide to go try and get Chen instead. But yet again,
and there he goes.
He's gonna roll away.
Can't catch this panda.
Oh, he's just a wondering. And yet again, we're gonna see him come in, get back to his team, and we are gonna see an engagement here. Felt like we were a little robbed of that a few times here by Chen, but ETC is gonna go in there and maybe even a defensive attempt at Mosh there. But as Enterprise does start to collapse on them here, they're going to get Tyrande and ETC pretty early, but Chen is going to end up going down to a lot of the CC comp. They're going to get the team wipe here, though. Li Ming is going to go down, Thrall is going to go down, and Tassadar is going to run away. But the GG being called here by Tyrande as the 4 remaining members are heading in towards the middle here. They are going to take down Tassadar, and that is going to be the G's if they're able to go in and just clear out the rest of this core pretty easily.
Yep, cooldowns are long enough to prevent them from defending at all, and already quite a bit of damage on that core.
A very abrupt end to this match. They were able to clear out that mid lane pretty simply, and an interesting comp coming out from Enterprise. You know, you take one look at that and you kind of scratch your head a little bit. But ultimately, they were just able to do what they wanted to do on this map, able to take the camps very efficiently, able to avoid the end gauges. You know, it's clear from Illidank squad's point of view what they're going for with this comp is the high CC, and so they need to be able to engage. This is not a map that's very conducive to that.
Yeah, absolutely. It's, if anything, you know, you're looking for picks throughout the match, trying to catch somebody out. But if the other team is doing a good job of rotating carefully and getting the camps or just being one step ahead, that makes it really difficult because then they have the opportunity to just choose when you fight, and they can always walk away at any time.
Yeah, so if I had to choose any one MVP for this match, oddly enough, even though he wasn't there for that final push, it would probably be Chen. I really like a lot of what he was doing just with the stalling, you know, making it seemed like his whole goal in life was to get out of position so Illidank squad would think they had something, but then just roll away with that wandering keg, able to either zone somebody out, stall, or just in general doing a really great job of being a pest to the back line, or, you know, just distractions, you know, letting the rest of Enterprise really do what they needed to do, not focusing on where Rexar is, not focusing on the camps, and they were able to get enough turn-ins and open up enough of the map that once they did finally win that team fight, it was just an easy walk-in through the mid from there.
Yeah, Chen I think is really undervalued, especially in Hero League or that sort of thing. People don't seem to realize his potential just disrupting the entire enemy team by hopping in there and just soaking a lot of damage. Li Ming can't really do anything if Chen's standing right there in front of her because all of her skill shots are going to hit him instead. So he's kind of a nice buffer between the rest of his team and Illidank squad.
All right, well, that is going to do it for us tonight. There was one game, actually, now that I look at it, that I did apply for. We'll have to see if I'm able to cast that one later on tonight. It would be coming up in about 20 minutes if we do end up casting that one. But either way, we'll either see you guys then or we'll call it a night. Thank you very much for joining us, guys. I'm going to go ahead and throw up the links for Plague and I, who are normally the ones casting here. You can always check us out on our Twitch channels or on YouTube. We'll be uploading this match and every match we cast, of course, to YouTube. So if you guys like what you see, feel free to throw in the follow, and that's always really cool. And feel free to come back and watch. We're going to be doing a lot of these chair league matches, and we're actually going to be looking into maybe trying to cast some of the amateur tournaments coming up soon. But thank you very much for joining us, guys, and thank you, Rabid, for casting with me as always.
Anytime.
All right, guys.
Happy to be here.
Talk to you later.
See ya.